Oh, he's on this side. It's different. Q&A, Q&A, gonna have a Q&A, Q&A.
Oh, that was loud.
I'm sorry, Mirko. I don't even know which one of these bones are yours anymore.
That's a specific line. She had to search for a specific line just to scream that. Just saying.
Is that from a fanfic?
No,
No,
that's
it's from the actual anime.
It's from the actual anime.
It's when John screams it when your body's being burned.
At the bonfire.
Oh, yeah. My table looks so much dirtier than Ben's. Whoa. What? What? I'm in the middle. Hang on.
Uh-oh. Hello. It's Ben.
You people did.
What?
What would you like to get? But I just said if you wanted to come to the Q&A, you could go back to it.
I told you not to.
That's going on YouTube.
Hi everybody, I'm Austin Tindle.
Right now.
You may ask me any question you would like about Austin Tindle.
He's Austin.
I am the real Austin Tindle. Yes.
Can you sing your theme song?
Da 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 da. Austin Tindle.
Do the codename Kids Next Door theme song.
You sing it.
What, you want me to sing?
Yeah, you sing it for us.
Austin
Tindle, Austin Tindle, Austin Tindle, Austin Tindle, Austin Tindle, Austin Tindle, Austin Tindle, Austin Tindle.
It was on YouTube.
Big Diskin, everyone.
Hi.
Aye.
I'm here to help, I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you out of your lunch. Oh, good. Well, this is going to be a Q&A
Yay.
for both of us.
Yay.
So if you guys have any Q's. Or I'll ask the questions here. Yeah.
That's the quieter one.
Even if you put it right here, you still end up kind of
But
getting
you
picked
guys
up.
should do like a voice off, like one voice after another.
Yeah, no.
That'd be fun. Do it. Do it.
Look, I only have one voice, and it's this one. This is a Q&A. Ask a question.
Who has questions for the legendary Austin Tindle? Who has one? Someone must have questions.
You're all here.
Yeah, there's a person with a question.
Did you read the manga before you actually voice acted it?
No.
No.
He's drinking. I'll answer for him. No.
I don't read manga. I don't know about you, but when I first started doing stuff, like when I did Is This a Zombie, I studied everything and pre-planned everything and watched the original Japanese so that I knew exactly what was going on. But I found that me as an actor doesn't necessarily serve me very well. So I like to participate in what I call willful ignorance. I don't like to know too much about what's going to happen before I act it. So I'll watch the first few episodes of something if I'm dubbing it in English, get an idea of the universe, maybe an idea of the character, but then I'd like to really not know what's about to happen. And the directors got used to that too. They don't tell me certain things. Because then you get kind of less time. For me, I get less time to worry about how I'm going to do something. If I think about it, I usually make it worse.
So did you do the same thing for Attack on Titan?
Yes. Yeah, I had no idea who Marco was because I didn't audition for him. I auditioned for some of the major characters.
Like who?
Not that Marco's not major in my heart.
Yay!
But I had no idea what was going to happen to him. And I'm pretty sure that the director at the time didn't really remember that much either, because my experience with Marco's death was, he had that big emotional monologue with John. personal moment with John. and then I'm sitting there in the booth and it's silent for like 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, what's next cue? And I just look over at the director and he's like scrolling. And I'm like, I think you're dead. yeah, you're dead. We're done. Get out. So, a little anticlimactic. That experience. Yes. I learned.
What is the sound? Do it with your mouth full of banana.
I don't really remember, but
He does, he's lying.
I'll think about where we'll be right now.
Actually, the banana made it more convincing.
Your intestines
A little bit get out, yeah.
It's very similar to what is known as a blood barf, which I had to do a lot in Tokyo Pool. It's like a normal barf, but it's just a little bit more liquidy.
Ew.
I like to throw some tongue in there too.
Oh god.
Kind of like a. Just do a panel where I do that.
Just do nothing but noises.
It's not annoying for us.
No, it's annoying. Feel free to ask both of us questions. Well,
Okay, so. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Okay, so 2 questions. One, what I know you've worked for Funimation and Sanfar Films, I believe it's called. Sentai Films. Out of those 2, which one have you felt like more comfortable working with, and how did you get into the voice acting industry?
you asked me that exact same question last night.
Yes.
The way that I got into the voice acting industry was kind of accidental. I wasn't necessarily trying to be a voice actor. I was just trying to be an actor. I studied acting in college. Spent about 10 years doing theater in Dallas, which got me an agent, which got me some auditions, which led to commercial, industrial, on-camera stuff, and eventually an audition at Funimation. Working at Funimation got me the connections that got me to start working at Poketron. And then going to conventions is actually how I ended up working at Sentai, because I met Chris Ayers, and he's a director there. He directed me in a show called Cross-On. Thank you. It's a pity game. So oh, you do? You know everything. Well, you have homework. I guess I technically am more comfortable at Funimation just because I've worked with them a lot more, so I'm more used to that. That's kind of where I train to be a voice actor. But they use different techniques. And in some ways, Sentai's technique is more interesting. It's a little bit more scary, but it can be a little bit more fun. Because Funimation, you sit there and you have 2 screens, and they preview what you're about to. You go cue by cue. They preview it in Japanese, and then you do it in English without any sound effects or anything. And then you sit there and you kind of memorize the lines and you try to match laps. When you're at Sentai, they do what's called the chase method, where they're just kind of like, this is what the show's about, and then they just throw you in. So it generally takes a lot more time to record at Funimation, because they'll go through each line a bunch of times. But Sentai, they kind of give you the responsibility to just keep up, and they're just scrolling through the text, and you actually go through a whole episode. So in 22 minutes, you've recorded an entire episode. And then they'll go back and try to fix stuff. But like a lot of the work that I've done at Sentai, when you listen to it, it's like it's me saying those lines and reading them for the very first time, which is kind of weird as an actor. But it's also kind of fun. And That.
Can you guys can Ben do the Joseph Joestar and you can do the Shogo from Ninja animation?
The Suicide Ninja?
Yeah.
What do you sound like?
I have no idea.
This is the best question ever.
This is what it sounds like.
Why does he just say something?
I don't know. Or you can do Marco. I don't care.
No, you're getting the Suicide Ninja. How's it going? I'm a ninja, and I like to commit suicide. And I have the spirit of a weird South Londoner trapped inside of me that gives me super ninja powers. How are you doing today?
Get me the hell out of here! This bit makes no sense. We're not good at improv. Are we doing improv later today or something? Oh God, that's right. We're doing like a thing together.
Yeah.
When?
Save our improv.
Yeah.
Wait, when's that?
Just squirting around stage.
When and where is
Oh,
that, Nicole?
Inappropriate slur.
What time is that?
At 4 o'clock in this room. It's 18 and up and it's in this room.
Oh.
Wait, watch it. Now. Okay.
I didn't swear, did I?
Not yet, but I probably will.
Oh, you said 18 double block. That's okay. That's allowed on broadcast.
4 in this room? In this room, though, right? Okay.
Still, that's PG.
Sweet. Well,
It has been upgraded because it was previously 16 plus and now it's 16 plus.
Basically,
really?
Ben, can you do the band voice from Seven Deadly Sins?
I really wish I had the more sensitive microphone because it's such a quiet voice.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, we can switch it. Hey.
Yay!
Bond is a really cool guy because my favorite thing about this character is that every time he loses his shirt, he just miraculously finds some random dude walking around with the same very eerily specific shirt. And she goes, hang on a minute, and goes, I guess he kicks his ass and just takes his shirt, and then that's it. And it's never really explained how that keeps happening. Yeah. Thank you. There's the Bond voice.
I would have watched that now. Sorry, you guys kind of started this. So I kind of want to hear Sai talking to Ayamu. I kind of do. I'm sorry.
Is this a zombie?
Okay. Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Just fine, thank you. How are you? I'm the king of awkward conversations. Many people say that I sound like a GPS navigation system. But I tell them that they can drive 5 miles off a 3-mile bridge.
Well, you know, that's better than getting rectally impaled by a spy!
Damn, son, I felt that before. You don't even know.
That's all you get.
Ben, I'm actually a big fan of yours. I actually watched Kids Next Door, and my favorite joke of Bizarre Adventures. Can you do a good Joseph impression?
Can I do a good Joseph impression?
Anything from Joseph.
Okay.
Here's my impression of myself, talking like Joseph Joestar. I don't know what to say. Oh, you're going to record this, are you? It's just a picture. Thank goodness, because this goes on the internet now. People will realize just how horrible at improvisation I am, and nobody will show up here at 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock. For the inappropriate fan dubbing, where we're going to say all sorts of naughty words, and hopefully the doors will be closed, so that people, young chitlins, do not hear any of our naughty, naughty words. They'll be checking at the gate. Lovely. Is that good? Yay!
None of these are questions.
Dance, voice monkey.
Austin. I was wondering if you can do your favorite Kaneki line, please.
That's always tricky because I only said the words once, so I don't really remember any of them. And I don't feel like screaming.
How about you do the line in your voice about what is 1,000 minus 7?
That involves
This is so
screaming.
funny.
Please?
Still record cameras. It can't make calls, but it can still record videos.
Please.
Okay, I'll do this. You ask me the question. Tell me when.
What is 1,000 minus 7?
993! Actually, I'm terrible at arithmetic. I don't really know. Hi. What did I feel about Kaneki's story? Again, I kind of experienced it as it happened. I didn't read it beforehand or anything, but for me, the story is it's a really interesting story. I think it's on one level, it's a very common trope in anime. Young male protagonist doesn't have any adult role models, feels awkward, he wants love, and all of a sudden he's burdened with some responsibility that changes him and causes him to have some monstrous form inside of him that he's now responsible for controlling. But I think it's told really well with beautiful animation. It doesn't waste any time. It carries over the character arcs really beautifully and quickly. There's no food festival episode or hot springs episode or fan servicey day at the beach because they're trying to fill up 13 shows for the season. So I loved that all the characters in the show got to go through this journey. But aside from that, on a deeper level, a lot of what Kaneki goes through, I think, can be a beautiful metaphor for challenges that everyone faces, whether it be social anxiety or mental illness or addiction or depression. And so for me, when I was recording it, especially towards the end of season 1, where he kind of was in this self-reflective state as he's getting his toes chopped off over and over again. There was kind of a cathartic experience where it was easy for me to relate to the things that he was saying and going through. So that. You're welcome. Thank you. I know, Kaneki just wanted to hang out and talk about books. I'm going to say Obi from Snow White with red hair. Because he's a playa and lava and bad. And I think he treated me well.
Started on some dumb. I would say I'm gonna spend a day hanging out with Shoutmon from Digimon Fusion, just because I like hanging out with monsters. I wouldn't date him. I don't think he's attractive, but yeah, that would be fun. Play dates, how about that? Yeah, paperback him.
Not the type to take over mom.
I have a question for both of you. Okay, this is gonna sound really awkward, but you guys do your sexiest voice.
That's controversial.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, we understood. We're just being terrible people.
I will say that it's very common in anime for every character to somehow adopt that weird telephone worker voice. Like even when I play a young adult, it's like whispery, like, "Hey, how's it going? It's nice to see you today." Like you're holding in a fart or something.
I can't top holding in a fart voice. No. You know what it is? There's a show that I've done work on. It's called K, but I just call it sexy man voice because like every character, it's like, yeah, I'm here to beat you. No, you're not. You can't stop me. Yes, I can. But everybody has like that kind of like, oh my gosh, just like bedroom voice. I don't know, but so no, I don't really have a sexy voice. This is a children's show. Cruddy Batman voice, that's my sexiest voice.
Okay, well that's all.
Yeah. Alright.
I think I can count on that.
Question for both of you. Who are your favorite voice actors? Aside yourselves.
Ben Diskin. I don't know. There are certain voice actors who I really like hanging out with, like DC Douglas, David Vincent are always a good time. In terms of people that I don't know have been around and worked with and admire, I tend to say Josh Greeley a lot because he's in my voice range, but he's also super talented and is like way beyond my range. And there are a ton of characters that we would both be in line for that he's done. He plays Armin in Attack on Titan. But he also, like, he disappears in certain roles where I'm like, hey, who's doing that? And they're like, oh, it's Josh. And I'm like, what? I'm going to murder him.
For me, it's the easy answer. It's D. Bradley Baker. Dude is ridiculous. Like, if you watch anything that has a creature sound in it that's an original American show, yeah, that's D. And I mean, like, there was one time we were on an episode of Uncle Grandpa together. Whatever you think of the show, they had D come in and play an ostrich, and I'm just like, what? And he's like, yeah, hang on a second. He makes this weird face. I can't do the thing, but it's like this, and this loud honking pitched thing comes out that sounds completely inhuman. And they're like, okay, now the ostrich is sad. Same voice, but now it's a sad sound. Now it has to be happy, but while it's being chased. Happy while he's running. Ostrich sound. And then he's like, and then they're like, okay, D, we're all good, thanks. And he's like, okay, thanks. And everybody's sitting there like, and everybody just breaks out into applause. Like, I don't know how you even make that noise. What is that? He's like legit, and he's like the most humble guy ever. If he, like, he would never say, yeah, I'm a genius at doing this, but he is. He is a genius. It's ridiculous. That's my hero. Thank you.
Who do you think would win in a fight between JoJo and Kaneki?
Oh, God damn it. Well, it wasn't exactly what I was going to say.
Kaneki has strange tentacles that come out of his back. And also, he whenever he eats other ghouls, he absorbs their power, and he has regenerative abilities.
It's basically, let's see. I think he would probably just survive. Because Joseph can take a lot of abuse, but I would say regenerative.
I agree.
All right. I have a similar question, but different characters. Who would win in a fight between number 1 and Marco?
Well, Marco would win the first half. But come on, Marco's a lover, not a fighter. I'm gonna say number 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna say number 1 just because he's got a lot of like gadgets and friends at his disposal. There you go.
I got a question for both of y'all. Basically, my question is, if you choose 2 characters, what 2 characters fits your personality?
2 characters that we've done, or just 2 characters ever?
That you've done. That can pretty much mix in with your personalities.
The first ones that come to mind are probably not going to be characters that you know. But there's a show I did called Tomo Norin. It's about an agricultural school. That character probably makes them a little Aiwu because they're just so normal and lazy and boring. Oh, you mean aside from the zombie thing? But...
It is what it is. For me, it's probably going to be number 2 from Kids Next Door because I'm a giant nerd. And the other one I'm going to say is Soldier G from Dragon Guard 3, which is a game that like nobody's ever heard of, maybe a few people, but like it's like I was one of many characters just like randomly going into battle because I like to remain completely anonymous and not be anybody in the spotlight. So yeah, so there you go.
Nice.
If you two could switch characters that you played, like that you wanted to voice again, who would you choose?
Between the two of us?
Yeah, like if you want to choose one of his characters.
We don't
to play
know
again.
each other at all. We have no idea what we've done.
Different markets.
Yeah, we have no clue.
I'm gonna say, who'd you play in here?
Eugene, okay.
I googled it last.
That was great. You were smarter than
I
I.
would play that character.
And what's the biggest character you've ever played?
Size-wise?
Yes, physically. Rio Titan.
No, I wasn't. But I played a like large golem-esque creature in Dragon Ball Z at some point.
Okay, that, yeah.
Can I ask one more question? This is for Austin. What's like the first Marco joke that comes to mind?
Oh gosh.
Or your favorite. Or your favorite, whichever one you want to do.
I hate all of them.
Yeah. Even the ones you make?
Marco has trouble in his love life because he could never really connect with someone else because he is his own better half. People always say that too when you make a Marco joke. They're like, "Oh, why is this so physically
Did you know Marco's is selling their pizza half off?
Yes, I heard about this.
Obi confessed to Shirayuki.
Oh God.
Well, tell me when you're recording.
Shirayuki, I just need you to know, I got a thing for redheads.
What's your experience working on an assassination classroom?
I mean, Assassination Classroom is really fun.
It's fine.
I've always wanted to kill myself a teacher. I love playing chaotic neutral characters. They're just more fun. And Karma is especially interesting because there's that one scene right at the beginning where he like basically commits suicide, like jumps backwards off a cliff to test out Core Sensei. But there's this like flashback moment where he's like, "Yes, it's happening! I'm free!" Which I always thought was interesting. They never come back to that. And then by the end of the show, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but well, there's other people. But one thing about him that's interesting is that he doesn't necessarily want to be an assassin. He wants to be a politician.
He can pull it off.
He could. I think he would be an amazing politician, especially in our current climate. But in terms of recording it, it was really cool. Joel McDonald cast me in it, and he gives you a lot of freedom as an actor. We played around with the voice a little bit before we figured out what it was. The first time I went in and did it, I was like, he was like this really kind of annoying kid. But we fixed that. And then after that, Afia Yu, she took over as the director, and she's an amazing person to work with. And yeah, it was a simulcast dub that went on forever. So I got to go in like once a week, and Karma, like for the most part, he shows up at the beginning of the episode, and it's like, oh, I see what's going on. And then at the end of the episode, he like has figured out and hatched some plan. He's like, no, guys, we're gonna go over here and do this. So that's always funny to do. That is how I feel about that. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. My next question is for both of you. Which, because I know you did cartoons and anime, so which? My question really is, what do you prefer, and which one's like easier in terms of to do anime or basic cartoons?
Cool. Let's see. In terms of like ease,
Like which one's easier, which one's more fun for you to do?
they both have their pluses and minuses. The cool thing about anime is that you get to see what it's going to look like right as you're doing it. So you look at it and you're like, oh, that's the finished product. You know exactly what it is. When it's original animation, you're just in the room and you're throwing out ideas, but you don't know how they're going to be animated. So there are plenty of times where I've watched something and I'm like, oh, if I'd known that they were going to do that, I would have completely given it a different performance. But when you're doing an ensemble record, which is what we call the big groups where all the voice actors come in, they only do that for original animation. It would be complete chaos to do that with anime. But those are really fun because you get to work with the other actors and bounce personalities off, and also it's your own natural speaking pace. If you speak slower than most people do, that's fine. Whereas with anime, it has to match, otherwise it looks really weird. So you have to adopt a different speaking tactics, but they have their pluses and minuses. Original animation also pays better, so this is why you don't see like Tara Strong and like Nolan North and guys like that in anime. It's because they just go, well, I'm going to scream my guts out and risk damaging my vocal cords. I'm not going to do it for $50 an hour. I got to have like the serious paycheck for that. So that's unfortunately there's kind of the reality.
So cartoons pay.
I'd say that's the big difference.
So cartoons pay more.
That's the major plus there.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. It was I did anime before I ever did prelay stuff. So it is. I think the first thing I did was some video game stuff. That was the first time where I didn't have animation already there for me. They're kind of like, here's a picture, just go. And I'm like, but where's how do I? Okay. Like, oh, okay, now you're about to die. You're jumping off a cliff. Make a sound. But it does often feel with anime, it feels like I'm more like a studio musician than an actor. Because it's never ensemble. You're always alone in a room. Generally, there's a good chance that the other people that you're in a heated conversation with in the scene have not recorded yet. So there's no way for you to bounce back and forth and naturally react to another person's performance. So I feel like what makes me more successful and what my job is when I'm doing anime is to figure out exactly what the director wants. Whereas I think you have a little bit more freedom to create something out of nothing with original work. So that's the biggest trade-off there. And this is coming from someone who was trained as a theater actor, so like my instincts and what I know to be acting tends to come from a situation where you like rehearse a scene and kind of own it and develop it with another actor, as opposed to go in there and the director's like, actually, I want you to do this, and then you have to figure out their language and what exactly they want in terms of tone and pace, and it's matching flaps and matching pitch and staying true to what the Japanese actor was trying to do. So yeah, it's more like being a musician, I think, with anime. That's all. Uh-oh. Last question, better make it good.
Come here, I'll make it really good. Okay, I have a question for both of you. If you could have your favorite character that you're voice acting for president, which character would you both choose from your favorite show?
Oh.
Like through voice acting, like Connie or whatever.
One of my characters?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Both of you.
I already brought this up. I'd have to say Karma, because he's the most politically driven of all the characters I've done, and he's already got the aspirations. And I think he'd lead this country in a good direction.
I'm gonna say Jupus Tukey McDonald from Rogue Galaxy, because it's a game none of you guys have probably ever played. Dang it, one person has. And because he's a loudmouth. And I think to be a good politician, you gotta be able to be a loudmouth, outspoken jerk. That's all the time we have on that note. Thank you guys so much.